insofar as cultural expectations are concerned, would there be a difference in how relationships are formed? And I say for East and West for the
I would say there's a lot of cultural expectations amongst South Asian and Asian about what the role of wife should be and what the role of a man should be. So I would be insulted a lot. So Gora is the language. When we say someone is Gora, that means they're white. I would get called Gora a lot because I would stand up for basic rights. Where they're like, "Oh, you act so Gora," and I'm like, this is literally basic human rights in a marriage." I feel like I'm not doing anything extreme. So I think it's the cultural expectations of what women are meant to be doing in a family. I do a lot of work on culture and branding and org design and restructures. And one of the biggest things I talk about is like people from those kind of backgrounds were like designed to be small, designed to be subservient and to serve the family and your needs will last. And then that falls through into work and dynamics and power. And so it does become harder to leave or to explain it. And so I think, yeah, there's a massive role in it. And that's why these things are societal. Like these, so the way I talk about this is it's structured. So I go, on one hand, we're having one woman being murdered a week in Australia from domestic violence. And that's not even talking about strangled, abused, financially abused, coerced control. Like that's not even talking about all that. That's just murder once a week by a partner or ex-partner and, all the other domestic violence. On the other hand, we're having 7 to 8 men killing themselves per day. So the way I talk about it is it's the system. A lot of these men have come from abusive homes. Like this isn't a women's issue. This is like the children are watching this, right? Thinking that's their normal and perpetuating the cycle. And so for me, and it's a whole structure that carries someone to want to be subservient, to not stand up for themselves, to not see them as equal, to want essentially someone a slave at home or have no financial rights and not challenge anything. And the choice that, even having a divorce, it was tough. Like there is a lot more cultural elements because you marry the family, right? It's just two people letting each other go. This is families. So families were involved with my stuff. And that was really, really, really hard. There's too much family intertwinedness to do it. I think the cultural elements play a huge role in how to navigate relationships. And I think it's people being conscious of that why don't they just leave? There's a lot more understanding of that. So I'm part of the Aunties Fund, which works with South Asian women. So we raise money that gives money to 4 South Asian focused domestic violence charities in Sydney. And they focus on the nuance of, like, say, dowry, migrant. It's just like get them to stop abusing you. We'll deal with this dynamic. The answer isn't always just to leave because there's so many more things at play. The answer is sometimes you just got to mitigate them not harming you as much or like much less, or getting the community involved to say, we don't want you to keep going like this. So I think there's just so much nuance when it comes to relationships. But when I talk about my book and my branding, I actually show people what I look like when I was deciding, do I stay, do I go? Then I show them a picture when I'm going through my divorce. Even if I was in court, you can see it in my face. And then I show a picture after when I'm writing my book and, 5 years later. And you can physically see it in my face, the difference. And what I always say to people, it's really hard to be the best version of yourself and show up in the world if you're not in a healthy relationship. It will hinder you daily, because daily you're just trying to get through the next day. And life is already making you push to be getting through the next day, then let alone being in a relationship or an environment where you're not able to. And that's why I'm so vocal. And that's what a community does for you. But for me, it's like it's being really interconnected to what you do and how all of this kind of intersects, and then live off that. But I always say I couldn't do this work if I had stayed. So the reason why I do a lot of the work that I do and can interconnect it, and I work with women who've gone through DV, and I give them this book. So I talk about branding, how you show up. Here's a copy of my book. It's a, go-to guide about how to build your brand from here, but that opens the commercial doors for you. So work with the commercial world. But it's also why I'm building Breakup app for men, because I see that women need to be empowered commercially, but men need to be empowered emotionally. And that's the gap that I'm seeing. So I'm trying to reduce the manosphere pipeline. We're seeing a lot of extremism. I want to try and reduce male suicide, male loneliness, and reduce domestic violence by having abilities and a plan to deal with your pain to help with other men helping you on that.